using only a plank of wood and a rope. With unsuspecting families and under the cover of darkness, Doug and Dave would sneak out and make each of these circles in under 4 hours.
I suspect they indeed did make some simple circles, but I greatly suspect that the entire story has been somewhat fabricated.
For many, Doug and Dave solved the mystery, but for others, Doug and Dave's story not only failed to explain everything, but also preempted an onslaught of copycat hoaxers.
This was the biggest setback in the serious study of the phenomena.
Apart from small, die-hard groups of scientists and worshippers who took the discipline seriously, the subject was beyond the glare of the public. Until, inexplicably, a sudden blitz of media attention about crop circles, heralded by the release of a Mel Gibson blockbuster, Signs, and no fewer than 2 other feature films and 10 documentaries, began to titillate audiences. What changed about crop circles that warranted all this attention? What, if anything, has been learned about crop circles? We know that the crop circle shape can be hoaxed. But what about the anomalous data that scientists are compiling during their surveys? Can this data be duplicated by science? We went to the campus of the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Cambridge, USA, where we asked 3 students to look over the crop circle research and design an experiment to reproduce the results in the real world. Dom and Lisa, as well as their classmate Dev, are all members of the MIT Aerospace Engineering School. The MIT students are joined by Nancy Talbot of the BLT Research Team Incorporated.
Hi.
BLT is the only peer-reviewed scientific organization currently conducting crop circle research. Nancy has brought field samples with her that clearly point out the anomalies collected at what BLT considers authentic crop circles.
I figured that there are 3 primary components that you might try to replicate. The first parameter is expulsion cavities.
Okay.
These are holes blown out at the plant stem nodes. See that hole there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're much smaller, obviously, in wheat or barley.
That's the expulsion.
Theory suggests that damage to the crops may have been caused by exposure to high levels of microwave radiation.
Now, these particles are pure iron, by and large, and they're magnetic.
Nancy showed them evidence of radiation exposure and elevated iron magnetite concentrations that are often distributed over the perimeter of crop circles. It wouldn't be impossible for a hoaxer to do this, but it would be very challenging. During the meeting, the MIT students witnessed firsthand the bizarre conditions of the plants that are found inside the crop circles.
Can we pull one of these open and take a look at it?
Sure.
I'm assuming these are
Are these?
Yeah.
The findings are so intriguing that Dom, Lisa, and Dev agree to attempt to duplicate the anomalies scientifically in a field of wheat in southern Ohio. They approach the problem in MIT style.
I'm definitely looking at it as an engineering project. We have a set amount of deliverables, and we just have to figure out what process do we do to recreate them.
If you do assume that they were man-made, that someone would go through all this trouble and take all this time and actually do a fairly high level of scientific study in order to create these things, it's pretty incredible that someone would take the time to do this.
Well, a generator out there, we can use as big an apparatus
We can't do that
if we
because
want.
we're gonna have to place it down all the time. Unless we plant ourselves, radiate, press down, move to where we press down, radiate, press down.
It's pretty clear with the evidence that they've given me and the like the samples I've looked at that this isn't just a couple of old guys with a board wandering around in a field. It might be a couple of old guys with a board and a microwave wandering around in a field, sure, but someone put a lot more effort into it than that. This is a great hack.
Little did the MIT students know they were setting themselves up for an adventure that would pit them against the very forces of nature they came to study. From their base in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Dom, Dev, and Lisa have agreed to create scientifically a crop circle in a wheat field in southern Ohio. Like any assignment at MIT, they dig into the available data to glean clues about the crop circle phenomenon.
You can see these track lines from the machine.
When and where will crop circles form? After 300 years, the few human witnesses have only described crop circles occurring at night, all with strange balls of colored light appearing. There is no explanation for these unidentified objects.